the recording. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to screen share so I can go through my presentation. Hopefully my computer will cooperate because it's kind of slow, but we should be good. Okay, so thank you so much for getting on tonight, whether you're on now, whether you're going to listen to the recording. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to spend time tonight kind of telling a little bit more about my story, and I'm going to go into detail more about what Beachbody Coach Opportunity is and how it might fit into your life. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit about me. So I've been a Beachbody coach for about 2.5 years now. And for the longest time in my life, I had been trying to lose weight. I remember being in maybe 6th grade, and I was overweight. And I had said to my parents, I really want to lose weight. I really want to change. I would bring them all these pamphlets from like fat summer camps and say, please send me. And they just didn't really know how to help me. And so, I started to have really bad body image issues. I really didn't like the person I was. And from maybe about 6th grade till I went to college, I was suffering from some pretty bad depression. And instead of handling and dealing with a lot of my emotions, I kind of masked them with food and with alcohol. And because of all the food and all the stuff I was putting in my body, my anxiety was incredibly high. I was really struggling to kind of cope with it. But I didn't want anyone to know. I went to college and I thought, I want to pretend I'm this person I've always wanted to be, and no one is going to want to be my friend if they think I have all these issues. So I kind of hid a lot of them. And it's interesting now because I talk to some of my friends and they say, I can't even imagine, this being you. You were so happy and bubbly, and I tell them that's really not how I felt inside. I really hated the person that I was, and I was trying to be a person I thought everyone wanted me to be. And it really, really made me struggle a lot with accepting myself and just, trusting other people to actually accept me. And so at my heaviest weight, I want to say 200 pounds, but honestly, I stopped weighing myself because I don't want to know. And I'm 5'2", so I was obese, and I really was at a very low point in my life. And so I did some desperate things. I tried every diet pill probably on the market. And I actually just read an article the other day about a girl who died because she took 4 times the recommended dosage. And it really hit me because people were commenting, well, why would you take so many? It's her fault. And I thought, I did that because I wanted quicker results. I wanted to get a quick fix. I wanted something. And of course, none of them actually stuck with me. So I continued to search. I did Weight Watchers for a little bit, but I found that I wasn't happy with Weight Watchers. With Weight Watchers, I wasn't healthy. I was still able to eat pizza and drink beer, and, it was considered healthy, but it wasn't the way I wanted to live my life. But with Weight Watchers, I did lose about 10 pounds, and I did it with my now husband. And I was going to the gym, and going to the gym for me meant walking around, looking at the machines, maybe walking on the treadmill. I didn't know what I was doing. My husband was doing P90X. He lost about 30 pounds, and I lost 10. And I thought, that's not fair. I'm doing better than you. What's going on? And he said, I don't know. These home workouts really work. Maybe you should try one. So I Googled a bunch of them because I love to go to YouTube and look for success stories. And I found Turbo Jam. That was my first program that I did. It's 30 days. And I found Chalene Johnson in it, and I loved it. I thought her energy was great. It was amazing. So I signed up for the Team Beachbody message boards. I was trying to make a community there. And I was working it on my own. And I did well. I lost a little bit more weight. And then I wanted to try Turbo Fire, but it looked really scary. And so I decided to go for Chalene Extreme, which was kind of a different weightlifting type program. And again, I went to the message boards, I looked around, and what I found was a really great community. So I went to YouTube to look for some success stories, and that's actually how I found my coach Hillary. I just Googled or YouTubed Chalene Extreme results, and hers came up, and her story really hit me. So then I followed her on Facebook for about 4 months, I want to say, before I said a word to her, which is just crazy now to even think about. And I messaged her about Shakeology, and she told me the price, and I said, no, I'm not gonna pay for that. because I thought it was too expensive. Now looking back on it, I really know that, yeah, Shakeology has a cost, but what the real trigger of that was that I didn't think I was worth it. I thought I was just going to spend more money on another program or something that I would do like everything else I did, and I would fail. And I didn't want to fail. And so I told her no. So then I went and I kept following her story, and I noticed that she kept posting and she was consistent and she was still on her journey. So by the time I finished Chalene Extreme, I was down at this point about 30 pounds, and I was hooked on Beachbody, and I thought, this was really great. Maybe I should, try something different. So I asked Hillary about Turbo Fire, and she talked to me about Shakeology again and told me the value. And I said, you know what, this is it. If I'm going to really want to be healthy and invest in my health, I need to stop making up excuses. And so I bought my first challenge pack in July of 2012. And with Turbo Fire, I'm down a total now of 50 pounds that I've been able to keep off for the past 3 years. About 3 weeks, I think, into the challenge, I was at the grocery store, and I didn't have money for my groceries because at this point I was queen of overdrafting my accounts. And I came home and I told Hillary, I'm really sorry. I love your groups. It's amazing, but I can't afford it. And she said, well, have you ever thought about coaching? And honestly, I had. But in my head, I was thinking, who would want me to coach them? I mean, I'm nobody. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a failure. I'm all these negative things that I had told myself for so long. But her believing in me and thinking I would be good at it was kind of the push I needed. So I joined in August as a coach just for the discount. So as a coach, you get a 25% discount, and I like to save money. So for like 4 months, I didn't coach anyone. I just worked on my own journey, and I worried about me. I was a school teacher. I loved my job. That's what I was going to do for the rest of my life. So then a couple of months later, Hillary said to me, you should come to our coach summit. It's huge. It's all of the coaches. It's going to be fun. We'll get to meet. And so me and my husband decided that would be our trip this year. So I went to the coach summit, and it was amazing. I saw coaches that were shredding their mortgages on stage with their money they made from Beachbody, people with hundreds of pounds lost, and just people that were really positive. And I came home, and I said to my husband, wow, I really like this. I think I want to start actually coaching. So then I started to actually coach. I ran my first couple of challenge groups. I started to find people who wanted help through Facebook, friends, referrals, and it was really fun. And so I was still teaching, and I loved it, but I started to feel myself being pulled in another direction. And for me, I feel like that was God telling me he had something he wanted me to do that was different from the original plan. And it was so scary for me. And when I went to the coach summit that year, I came home and I said to my husband, I'm really stressed out at work. I'm working 80 hours a week between teaching and coaching. I think that I need to be a little selfish and do something for me. And I think I'm ready to quit my job. And he said, no, you're just burnt out. Like, give it some time. And those feelings kept coming up, and they kept bubbling up, and my anxiety was super high. I was crying on the way to work. I knew I was made for more, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And he said to me, listen, if you want to do this, do this. And so I put my nose down, and I worked super hard. And I am proud to say that in June of 2014, I retired at the age of 30 as a full-time teacher. And I've now been a full-time coach since then. My business has grown tremendously in the past year. I went from a team of 12 at this point last year. I think we hit 86 today. We've got 86 members on our team, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the team. Since starting coaching, I have earned the Financial Fitness Award with Beachbody, which means we have no credit card debt because of our money with Beachbody. And because of the tools I've learned with Beachbody, I have paid off $80,000 in other debts, which is amazing. I didn't make $80,000, but I was able to use a lot of tools I learned in personal development to pay up the debts. But I did make enough to pay for our wedding in cash. And I am so happy with my life now. So Beachbody coaching, it's so cliche. People say it all the time. It changed my life. It saved me. If I had not found this, I worry that I would have burned out. I worry that I would have had worse anxiety attacks, and I worry that I wouldn't be as healthy and the person that I really wanted to be. So that's a little bit about my story. Now I'm going to transition a little bit and I'm going to tell you more about the company itself. So in 1998, the CEOs, Carl Daikeler and John Congdon, they formed Beachbody, and they basically sold through infomercials. If you ever turn on the TV at any point when there's an infomercial on, it's probably a Beachbody program, and that's kind of how our company started. And then in 2007, they realized that all of the money, money they were making, people were coming to them because other people were referring. So they said, let's start this Beachbody coach opportunity. That's when a lot of our amazing programs came out. I mean, Beachbody is a household name. That's one of the perks of being a coach, is that sometimes I tell them Beachbody coach, they don't know what I say. But if I say Insanity or P90X or Turbo or T25 or the 21-day fix or Combat, I mean, everybody knows what we're talking about then. And, we are just going super strong. So in 2007, when we started, we were an $8 million company. And in 2014, we actually hit the $1 billion mark. And I know a lot of people say, isn't this market saturated? Like, I know so many Beachbody coaches. There's so many health and fitness programs out there. It's true. But there are also 2 out of every 3 people in the United States and Canada, including our children, that are overweight or obese. There is always someone who can be healthier, and that is our job, to help people lead healthy and fulfilling lives. And so the market will never be saturated as long as all of these companies with their saturated fats and trans fats are coming at our children and providing them with the unhealthy stuff. And it's kind of our job to get in the way of that and change that trajectory. We started with 40 Beachbody coaches in 2007, and we actually just hit 290,000 coaches. At the end of 2014, my Team Invictus, and myself, I ranked number 421 out of 250,000 coaches. And I'm currently at 408 out of 290,000. So there's a lot of us in the business, and there are a lot of us who are doing amazing things, and we grow every day. So the one thing that makes Team Beachbody super unique is that it's not just the nutrition support. It's not just a fitness program you can do, but it's fitness, it's nutrition, it's the online peer support and the rewards that come together that really make it different than a lot of other health and fitness programs out there. We also have our product Shakeology, which you heard me talk about in my testimony. Shakeology is the healthiest meal of the day. I love it because it cuts my cravings in half, and it gives me a lot of energy. I used to drink 2 Monster energy drinks and like 3 cups of coffee a day. No lie, every day when I was teaching. And I don't know how my heart didn't explode. And now I'm very energized. I'm caffeine free right now. I do not drink caffeine. I've actually been off caffeine for like 2 weeks now, but I typically, if I drink a cup of tea or coffee, it's because I enjoy the taste, and I'll get a decaf. Shakeology also is one of those things I'm super proud about because it's all natural, gluten-free, it's organic, and it doesn't have any crap in it, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I used to drink. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say, like, I drank all those Slim Fast drinks that are just chock full of sugar and chemicals because I wanted a quick fix. Again, and I didn't want to spend the money. Whereas Shakeology has 70 natural ingredients in it. There is nothing like it on the market. You can only get Shakeology through a Team Beachbody coach as well, which is something that makes it super special. We have 4 regular flavors, and we have 2 vegan right now. I'm hoping they come out with a new one soon. The other thing that makes Beachbody super unique is that there's something for everyone. We have programs that don't even include working out. They're completely nutrition, like the Ultimate Reset. We have a 3-day refresh cleanse. We have vitamins, pre-workout, post-workout, equipment, workouts if you want to tone up or be low impact, high impact cardio. You really can find something to fit anyone's need if that person is looking to get healthier and more fit. The other thing that's amazing is that there are proven results. So I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of these infomercials, and sometimes I think, you are not real. You must have been photoshopped, like you're not real. And then I met a bunch of the people, and then I became one of these before and after pictures, and they're real people, and they're real people who get real results when they work the programs. And that's important to me. There's no photoshopping involved at all. The other thing that makes us super unique is all of the peer support. Beachbody coaches are just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. They come from all walks of life. They all have different backgrounds. There are people who work at full-time. There are people who work at part-time. There are people who are lawyers or doctors or moms or teachers or nurses, and, you know, people who do a ton of things, but are able to also fit this health and fitness into their life. So I want to just clear up right now what a coach is. So a coach does not have to be a fitness or a nutrition expert. I'm not. I don't claim to be. I have an experience and I share it. You also don't have to already be at your goals. When I started coaching, I think I still had maybe like 30 pounds to lose, maybe 20 or 30 pounds. And you do not have to be an experienced salesperson. It's actually better if you aren't, because, you know, there's that feeling that salespeople sometimes have. We don't sell things. Like, we're sharing a lifestyle and we're helping people fit their needs. So what you should be is willing to share how people can change their lives and achieve their goals, committed to being proof that the product works, which means working out and drinking your Shakeology. And, you know, really, you don't have to be perfect, but the second you open your first Shakeology or you push play on your first workout, that's when your journey starts. And that's all we ask at Team Beachbody, is that you're a product of the product, wherever that means to you. And you have to want to improve and develop yourself. This job is amazing because one of our pillars is personal development. We work to be better, and our company wants us to work to be better people, not for them, but for us, because you know that if you are not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So some of the benefits of being a coach, well, you get to make your own hours, like I said. I am currently a full-time coach, but you don't have to be a full-time coach if you don't want to. You can work at part-time. You can work an hour a week, or you can work 20 hours a week. You could be like me and work 30. When I was teaching, I worked in 10-minute chunks, to be honest. I got up a little bit earlier. I checked in with my group. During my prep, I would answer some messages. Before I went to bed, I answered the rest. That was all I could fit in. And that's okay if that's what you want. You can also build it online or in person. So most of what I do is on social media. I will say that if I had to break it down, 80% of what I do is people I've met on Facebook or Instagram, social media. 20% are people I actually know, and I'll work with either in person. Sometimes I have people come over to do weigh-ins, and my mom was actually here the other day and we made her meal plan. It was super exciting. But it's a lot of people I meet online, and it's the reason we have social media, right? So you can choose how to do it, and you get to share your passion and attract people to that. So we also have a bunch of rewards. If you got to see, I just came back from Mexico, which was a 100% free trip. Didn't even have to put a credit card down when I got there, that Beachbody gave people who earned it. And we are actually going on a cruise next March, and it's just amazing. So part of your rewards as a Beachbody coach, you make a 25% commission if someone buys something from your website. You are also eligible each week for a team bonus that you can get as your team starts to grow. There's a bunch of trips, like I said. We also have our coach summit every year. This year it's in Nashville in July, where right now I think we have about 20,000 Beachbody coaches who will be going. And it's amazing because you get to be around all these other positive people. We also have quarterly, 4 times a year. We call it Super Saturday. This quarter, is the closest one to me is in Trenton, where I'm going to actually get to work out with Tanya from T25 and Insanity. So I'm super excited. Also, there's a ton of recognition and personal development. The company, they treat us well. Every month, you get the opportunity to win a prize. Sometimes they're like silly. Like last month, I earned the Beachbody Monopoly game, and this month I earned a Chalene Johnson bobblehead. Sometimes it's a personal development book. Sometimes it's a t-shirt. But they're always looking to reward you for your hard work. We also have an outstanding support. So we have trainings and tools, including a 7-day business quick start. My team, Team Invictus, we run a Coach Basics, which is our business basics training at the beginning of each month. We also have an online academy and marketing tools that you're able to use. Beachbody, again, household name, you get all that branding and all that marketing to use. And we have a ton of stuff like flyers or websites you can send out that are just included. The other thing that's special about my team is we do skill-based trainings every 2 weeks where you can choose a skill. So if you're like, I want to learn how to share my story on social media, you can sign up for that course if you want. If you're saying, I want to learn how to share the business opportunity, I want to learn how to create a website, I want to learn how to edit pictures. We have a bunch of different trainings that'll be available to you, and that's exclusive to my team. We also have a national wake-up call on Mondays where to the top leaders will help and inspire and give us some wisdom. And there's social media all over the place that you can use to get some FAQs. So part of Team Invictus, my team, they are my heart and soul. I absolutely love them. Right now, like I said, I think we just hit 86 coaches, which for me to look back and say that, just 2 years ago, it was me. I was the only one. And now we've grown so much, and we are a group of normal people. We are parents. We have a lot of nurses. We have a lot of teachers. And we have a lot of people who are just trying to be accountable on their own journey. And so they are probably the most amazing and positive people I've ever met. And so this week we're running our coach open house. If you're not in our open house and you'd like to check out our team, put a message on the event page and I will have you gladly come join our team for the rest of the week into the weekend, and you can kind of see more about us, because this team is the reason that I coach. This team is the reason that I do what I do, because they've become like my family. We have people who are local, and we have people all over the United States and Canada. Currently, we have like a pocket here on the East Coast, a pocket in Canada, a pocket in California, a pocket in Texas. We're all over the place. And it's cool that most of us met through social media. This weekend, I'll get to actually meet some of my coaches for the very first time face-to-face. And we've been talking for 6 months via, a Skype or on the phone. So our team is amazing. And I can't say enough about them. So I've kind of given you a very brief overview of my story, of the team, and what coaching is. And now I just kind of want to talk about the different options that you have. So you kind of have two options. You can say, I'm ready to join the team, and I want to work on my health and fitness and help others achieve theirs. Or maybe you're saying, I want to just become a challenger and focus on my own health and fitness first. That's totally fine. You have a couple options. There are 3 levels of coaches. There's a coach that is considered a discount buyer. You maybe don't really make any sales, but you get your 25% discount on your Shakeology, and you're okay with that. That's where I was in the beginning. Then I transitioned to my part-time, where I worked 10 to 15 hours a week. And that's where most of the coaches on my team are. They work between 10 and 15 hours a week, depending on what their goals are, and they fit it in 1 hour a day. And you can do that where you're still working your job and fitting it in. Or you can even say, I'm ready to be full-time, where I put in 20 to 40 hours a week so I can really maximize what I do. No matter what level you decide to join at, you're still considered a coach, and know that. So when you join as a coach, the best way to join is with a challenge pack. And a challenge pack is the best because you get a fitness program that you can pick. You get your first shipment of your Shakeology on Home Direct, and you get a trial month of the Team Beachbody Club subscription, which will give you access to Beachbody On Demand, which has over $6,000 of full programs. It's kind of awesome. On top of it, when you sign with the challenge pack, the $39.95 coach enrollment fee is completely waived. You also have the option of paying the coach enrollment fee, and then you can buy Shakeology separately with a 25% discount or a fitness program. The other thing that I want to cover real quick is the $15.95 business service fee. It is monthly unless you are in military, and then there's a waiver for that. This covers the brand awareness, the media promotion. It gives you a personal website, which I'm so happy about because I don't know how to make a website very well, and I'm glad Beachbody did it for me. They give you all of your coach training. We get the Success on Demand, which is personal development training. We also get technical support, customer service, your products. They ship basically all the stuff small businesses have to do on their own, we don't have to do. And that's part of that business fee. If you're interested in joining as a customer, you have similar options. You can get that challenge pack with your Shakeology, a fitness program, and the trial of the Beachbody Club, Shakeology on Home Direct, or a fitness program. So in the next 24 hours, if the person who invited you on, they might not know that you're here. So I'm going to encourage you to follow up with them, and I'm going to ask, have them really talk to you about it. And they're probably going to ask you these questions. What did you like most about the presentation? Does Team Beachbody feel like a fit that can help you achieve your goals? And which option appeals to you more, coach or customer? So what I'd like you to think about is, what can becoming a coach do for you in your life? Who can you help? And what are your goals and dreams, and how does Team Beachbody fit into it? The other thing I want to encourage at the end of the presentation is a nice little raffle prize I want to do. So anyone who is listening, and if you're on here, and you go to my Facebook page and you post something you learned in the presentation that maybe you didn't know about my story or about Team Beachbody, I'm going to send you a little prize. So all you have to do is post on my page, hey, Kara, thanks for sharing. I didn't know that, and put it on my page. All right, so if you have any questions, I would love to answer them now. Otherwise, thank you so much for being on and for listening, and I really appreciate your time. So I am going to stop the sharing and the recording.